Where was I born? Where am I from? That is the million-dollar question for bilingual, bicultural folks. I was born in Miami. My mother was a Cuban immigrant. My father was Spanish, but raised in New Orleans, Louisiana in the 70s where there were no Latinos there and no one knew who we were.
Yo nací en Caracas, Venezuela. Vengo de una familia grande. Tengo 6 hermanos. Me mudé por una oportunidad laboral y desde entonces he estado viviendo aquí en Estados Unidos.
I was born in Brooklyn, New York, and like most Jewish immigrants of third generation, they follow their grandparents down to South Florida. And so by the age of 7 or so, we had moved down to Miami and grew up in South Florida and experienced becoming more of a minority in a sense because of my Latino counterparts in school growing up.
My parents only spoke Spanish to each other, Spanish to their 5 kids, and the 5 kids only spoke English to each other. So right then and there, we were 2 separate families. I go to my American school, which was much informed by the ethos in this country. They teach you to be independent and self-reliant. That's what's valued. It took me 40 years to realize that as a child, when I would come home from school and I acted in an independent way, my mother would tell me, "Mira que eres egoísta," because she was seeing it through the lens of collectivism.
Los primeros 2 años fueron muy duros para mí porque no tenía nada de familia en Estados Unidos. Adicional a esto, tuve que aprender un nuevo idioma. En Venezuela yo nunca presté atención a mis clases de inglés porque jamás me imaginé que iba a terminar viviendo en Estados Unidos.
Most of my friends were Hispanic, and I was basically indoctrinated, if you will, into the Latino culture because most of my friends were either Cuban or Colombian, majority of them were Cuban. I figured I was bicultural in a way, but even though I didn't know the language, I only knew the bad words kind of growing up.
And that culture clash informed my whole career and my education. I couldn't put words around why I felt so isolated and that I didn't belong at home, nor did I belong in society, because I lived in the middle.
Noto que la comunidad hispana en Estados Unidos está creciendo enormemente. Hay mucha diversidad. Dependiendo de la región, por ejemplo, en Nueva York tenemos una mayor concentración de dominicanos, puertorriqueños. Aquí en Miami tenemos lo que es muchos cubanos, venezolanos también. Ves que en casi todos los estados donde nunca imaginas, por ejemplo en Charleston, uno cree que no hay mucha comunidad latina y te consigues. Al principio uno notaba que la mayoría del latino que venía acá era la primera generación y ahora ya como esto viene tiempo, esta fuerte migración, encontramos un crecimiento en lo que es el hispano bilingual o segundas generaciones de hispano.
The first generation, the Spanish dominant, is the immigrant that comes to the U.S. at the age of 10 or older. They're considered a first-generation immigrant. The 1.5 is the immigrant that's foreign-born, but they come to the U.S. at the age of 10 or younger. So their primary socialization happens here in the U.S. So they are most like people like me that are second-generation immigrants that were actually born here of foreign-born parents.
So brands are starting to connect with the Hispanic audience more so now than ever.
Brands need to pay attention to the Hispanic market, not just because we're 62 million strong. We represent $2 trillion in purchasing power.
Adsmovil siempre se ha enfocado en un nicho, que es cómo identificar a los hispanos en los Estados Unidos.
The beauty of our organization is we have an incredible tech stack and proprietary data that allows us to micro-target consumers by country of origin, by location, by language, by behaviors, and that allows us to tailor messaging.
Adsmovil represents every single generation, and we're able to kind of bucket those generations and then offer that to brands so they can connect authentically to them.
Como tenemos tantos años investigando, aprendiendo de la cultura latina, vemos que hay un nicho que se encuentra un poco carente o desesperado, con hambre de conseguir contenido para el mercado bicultural, bilingual.
I'm excited about New Extra TV because here we have a really cool OTT and CTV platform that's targeted to the Hispanics, giving them a lot of content opportunities to consume based on, education, inspirational content that just doesn't exist in the market right now.
So Nuestra TV has us all very excited. The first thing you'll notice when you see the logo is the letters USA. They're highlighted purposefully. This is all about having Hispanics feel like they belong.
Solo imagínate, la vida en Estados Unidos.
Nuestra TV es la televisión para todos, por eso tiene el nombre de Nuestra.
Nuestra TV's content is going to be both Spanish language content and English language content, and we're going to have original bilingual, bicultural content written by the bilingual, bicultural individuals that have lived these life experiences every day.
Uno de nosotros no es lo que parece.
This is Adsmovil's first time coming out with an owned and operated product of content that we're really super proud of. We know mobile super well, and we've been experts in the mobile space for 10 years, and now this is just like a natural progression and a natural launch, if you will, from bringing all that experience to Nuestra TV and to our customers and brands. Nuestra TV offers, shows that can have brand integration or underwriting opportunities, whether it's short form or long form. It's a way for a brand to really connect with that end user.
Contenido educacional, contenido para la familia, donde lo puedan ver todos en la casa juntos. Tanto la niña chiquita que es English dominant y prefiere consumir contenido en inglés, como los padres que quizás prefieren contenido en español.
Yo veo mucho la tele, yo sé que ya no está en boga.
I'm super excited about Nuestra TV. I wish it would have existed when I was a child, because I think it would have helped me feel much more like I was part of the fabric of this society. And I'm really excited now being part of weaving that fabric for future generations. We seek validation all the time as humans, and we feel validated when brands show us that, hey, I do see you.
Suma does everything in a very culturally relevant way.
Once upon a time, there was a foreign native. Her family called her Mariví. All immigrant children see themselves in Mariví.
Latina Approved is authentic and offers refreshing, inclusive content to all Latinas from different walks of life.
In 1971, Cuban exile writer Delia Fiallo energized the genre in Venezuela with a masterpiece called Esmeralda.
Nuestra TV. It's ours.